This is the Game Heroes Podcast live, the only podcast that asks whatever happened to American Gladiators. Remember they tried to bring it back for a second? Isn't that in 2010 or something?
Yeah, with Hulk Hogan being the host, and all he would do is stand there and flex his tricep the whole time.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, it was Hulk Hogan was the
Hogan
host. Yeah, I don't remember who the girl host was. I just remember he just looked ridiculous because all he did was like one of his whatever his arm most ripped, he would just do this the whole time and flex that tricep.
Weird. Okay. Anyway, Game Heroes podcast featuring Handsome Tom and his cool N64 shirt, 8-Bit Mickey and all of his Pikmin, and I'll be here. This is episode number 6. It is March 20th, 2024, and on this day 27 years ago, Castlevania Symphony of the Night was released, and also another notable one, 4 years ago, Animal Crossing New Horizons was released to all of us content-starved shut-ins. So let's bring that kind of pandemic energy into today's show. Speaking of today's show, we have, it's a big one, folks, the 1994 Video Game Draft, and of course we have the Tri-Source News with Handsome Tom, this week's classic commercials, and for the first time we name this week's Game Heroes and Villains. If you're watching on YouTube, please make sure you're subscribed and drop us a like on this video. It really helps us out, and tell us in the comments what are the best and worst video games from 1994. If you're listening to the audio version, let me know because we may discontinue that.
Yeah, let us know.
If you're listening,
for real.
Yes. If you're enjoying the audio version, give me a heads up. And
Dude, apparently you're super quiet. People can't hear you.
I'm super quiet still. Oh God.
That was an older chat.
All right, hold on.
Do you have it?
Guts. Boo-doo, boo-doo-doo-doo, boo-doo-doo-doo. Sorry, where was I? Yep, if you're listening to the audio version, yeah, let me know because, yeah, we may stop doing that for a while. And of course, please do find us on Twitch, where we're streaming 5 days a week. I am, of course, Classy Man Jared. So without further ado, let's jump right into the video game roundup. Starting with that good-looking old-school gamer, the Save State Savant. What you got for me, Handsome Tom?
Come on. I do save states to make it more entertaining. I don't think people want to watch me play the same level over and over again until I master every single game that we play.
Some people like to watch the skill, but I mean, if you don't got it, you don't got it.
There, I just need to, refresh my memory on some of these levels. Anyway, X-Men yesterday was really cool. I really want to play more X-Men games. I watched the first 2 episodes of X-Men 97. Pretty awesome. Here's the problem. I can't tell if I'm biased because I loved it so much as a kid or if it's good. So I need somebody like Mickey to watch it because
I plan on watching a few this weekend because I'll be here. I have the house to myself this weekend, and Disney Plus is on one TV. So
yeah, they make Cyclops look like a badass in that first episode.
I saw the fight scene from Cyclops online. Someone already posted that.
Yeah. He's the first fight scene, but I don't want to spoil anything. Anyway, there's a scene where he's falling out of a plane, and it's pretty epic landing that he does. That's all I'm gonna say. So watch it. I would love for people to support it so we can have more X-Men cartoons. I think it's long overdue, but. Some of the voices, since I watched the first 7 episodes, or that 8-episode series that you're supposed to watch before the new ones, some of the I don't like Rogue's voice as much as I liked Rogue's voice in the original series. Cyclops is pretty close. Wolverine's okay, but sometimes you're just I think they could have done a little better with Rogue. Jubilee sounds like Jubilee, so that's always good.
Did they put the whole thing out, or is it episodic, or
just 2 episodes, and then it'll be every Wednesday for how many episodes there are. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, Perfect Liz and I were watching it at dinner, and she's like, "Can we watch another one?" I'm like, "No, it's not Netflix. We gotta wait another week until the next episode comes out." So we're looking forward to it. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of crazy Easter eggs. I mean, you'll see a Daily Bugle sheet of paper floating in the wind that has like missing mutants and just references to a bunch of other stuff.
That's fun.
Cool.
It is.
I really
like that. I'll check it out this weekend.
I loved that show growing up for sure, but I don't know if I've had a falling out with like animated content. I just don't really. Can you snooze that, Mickey? I don't. It's not letting me snooze it for some reason.
I've snoozed it a couple times.
Shit. Sorry. Well, there may be an ad in a minute.
Yeah. Sorry.
But I just don't love animated stuff, so I don't know how much I like it, but I'll give it a shot because I loved that show growing up. Anyway, if that's it for Tom, let's throw it to my wrestling muse, the hot tie guy himself. What you got for me, 8-Bit Mickey?
Well,
he never knows what to say.
Well, no, I played some Pikmin. Like, I streamed some Pikmin this past week, and that's the first time I played the game. So, arguably, I don't think it was a good stream just because I'm staring at the game more so, not really interacting much with chat because I'm trying to figure the game out and play it because, whatever. But I played it since then. It's a fun game. It's a nice little pickup, play a little bit, puzzle, find a spaceship part.
Nice.
Go back. It just gives you that feel-good Nintendo-y puzzle. Feel-good feel.
Well, you're not
I've
always...
never beaten it.
Have you played any of them?
I played the first one, and I just kind of got bored. So I've actually never played through.
I never really played them either, honestly. But you know what?
Yeah,
I respect them. I respect them.
The first one was fun. Like, it's fun so far. But, like, I've gotten all 3 types of Pikmin, and I'll play it a little bit, but I'm not, like, sucked into it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's a fun game just to pick up a little bit, but...
Super random, but I think Chibi Robo was better, and not a lot of people played that game.
I haven't not played that game, but I know what you're talking about. I remember that.
I know the game you're talking about, too.
Mm-hmm. Anyway.
Cool. Well, that's awesome, Mickey. Yeah, I think some streams, you just kind of lean into the game you're playing. So, not everyone's going to be...
I was pretty much like long stretches playing the game, looking down and going, oh, yeah, no, chat's doing something.
Yeah, I was probably...
Yeah, I find when I'm doing by myself, I have to pause it, read the chat, laugh about something, and be like, all right, let's get back into the game. Especially if it's I got to focus on, like, I got to make this crazy jump, and I'm trying to read both, anyway. It's fun.
It's fun. Well, as for me, I've been playing more Balatro. That game is super fun. It's like a great game to just kind of play in between things. So I have it on the Switch, so you can kind of just play hands as you want. It's a roguelike poker game. I don't know if I told you guys.
It's on the Switch.
Yeah, it's on the Switch. It's $15. It's fun, man. I mean, if you're interested in card games or deck builders, I mean, it's kind of like
it looks a lot of fun. I've seen I think Miss Cupcakes has been playing it, and she's been posting pictures about it.
It's
is it multiplayer where you can challenge people with their decks, or no?
I don't think so. It's more like it's more like a tower, kind of like Slay the Spire, where you're trying to achieve a certain level, right, with a deck. So you build as you go, and you gain power-ups, essentially, and build your deck, and try and get it good enough to win at the end. It's funny because it's definitely a game that like is roguelike players will love it, but also like your grandmother would probably really like it because it's like a little bit like solitary. You know what I mean? It's kind of like modern roguelike solitaire. There you go. Boom.
Well, watching the beginning of your stream when you started playing it, that's how it felt because it's like I'm like, okay, cool. You're like, ooh, 2 of a kind. Yeah. It's just like 2s and 3s and kings and queens, just basic cards.
Well, I got a couple dubs under my belt now, so I'm feeling a lot more better. So I said more better. I said more better in real life on a podcast.
You're doing much more better. You're the betterest guy ever.
I might. So yeah, I've got a lot of game streams planned, and I probably won't do roguelike Friday night again for a while. But when I do, I'll probably play some more of that, and I'll be way better because I'm getting better at it. The only other thing I've been playing truly is Baldur's Gate 3. I'm like, I'm so deep into it. I'm like 80 hours in, and I'm still in Act 3. So I'm Act 3. I'm getting close. I'm looking forward to finishing that game, but truly, I'm just gonna want to play it again. That is an incredibly special game. It's hit me in a totally different way that, like, you know when you start to get older and you're like, man, sometimes video games don't hit the same way they used to. This one did it for me, and it really
sucked you in.
Yeah, and it was like, oh yes, like yeah. So I'm really loving it. Well, that's just about it for this week's video game roundup. We'll be right back with the TriSource News right after this week's classic commercials. I think. Do I have that queued up?
Classic commercials.
Down with Zelda from the very start. I got the heart, it's Mars to play the part. Down with Zelda. Creeping through with an overhead view, cause a man's gotta do what a man's gotta do. So I stay on track, collect the facts, never cut the slack, and I always want my back for
Discord share screen to be over.
Do not send, I'm the man with the plan, cause the power's in my head and the power's in my hand. Zelda.
I keep looking up at the Twitch screen and it's always lagged. Oh boy, bro.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the action game. Which one was this? Oh, I see.
Some of this week's
That's the
contestants
one-
may
what's
receive
that?
all
No,
new
you really
editions
love
of
that
Wheel of
one.
Fortune featuring Vanna White and Jeopardy featuring Alex Trebek for play on the 16-bit Super Nintendo Entertainment System and the Sega Genesis System.
Hey, what do you got there? The video game has over 200 games.
Dear Lord,
Cool,
look at that
200
handheld.
games?
That's right. Over 200 games can be yours with Pro 200,
over
the
200
greatest
games.
bargain in computer game history.
I
256
feel like I'm getting
action-packed
ripped
games
off
all in
just
this one
watching
compact
this.
unit. And with 15
You know your
skill
grandmother
levels
bought
for
that
each
for you
game,
'cause
there
it was
are more
like
than 2,000
$18.
ways to play. Through this special
Over
TV offer,
2,000
you can get
games.
Pro 200 for just $19.98. That's less than 10 cents per game.
$19.98.
Play games
One
like Space
dime,
Race,
a
Ping
dime.
Pong, Race Car, Shooting Attack, and much
Ping
more.
pong,
This
and
new
much
computer chip
more.
technology replaces older cartridge games forever. Never
Thanks to
ever
our
buy
Turbo
those
Graphics
expensive
Super
cartridges
Engine.
again.
Never
You
bought
get
a
the Pro
buying
200
another
with over
cartridge?
200
Oh my
games
God.
for only
Fuck you,
$19.98, a
Nintendo.
fraction of
Sorry,
what you
not
pay
the
for those older
language.
systems. But that's not all. The Pro 200 is also a full-function calculator and is not available in stores. Here's how to order.
Compare that to a
For
Super
fast
Nintendo, it's
delivery of Pro
ridiculous.
200 with over
I
200
love
computer
that.
games.
That's pretty much what they did.
Or send
They could have like thrown in a
$19.98
middle
plus shipping and handling
finger,
to the
like
address
going
on
like,
your screen.
"Ugh."
That's a little penisy. I'm not gonna lie. So the Zelda one was submitted by our friend Eric Cartmanez, who was in the chat. Thanks so much for hanging out. And
That was
the what was it called? The something 200 that was submitted by our friend Zedric. So Zedric also submitted a Conkers one that I wanted to use, but one, I couldn't really find a good clean version, and two, I was just like, oh, I don't know. It has masturbation illusions, so I was like, well, maybe not.
I remember that.
Yes.
the system that replaced Nintendo.
Yeah, right. So I suppose it's time to see what's going on in the news.
Yeah, what's on the news?
Wisdom. Hold on, it's the theme song. News? It's the TriSource News.
I've never heard of
Handsome Tom. Simon, to recommend commercials, you can do it in the Discord or in the YouTube comments. Good question. Tom, take it away, man. TriSource News.
This is super random and weird, and I'm not sure why they're doing this, but they're bringing games to LinkedIn.
Boom.
So I'm not sure what the point is. I mean, apparently they like you be able to challenge other offices or other sections of your offices in games. So maybe it's a team building thing, but I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think that's
Kind of dumb. Is it going to be like we're saying it's stupid now? Is it going to be something we're like, oh my God, this was the greatest thing ever. We just didn't think about it.
I don't know.
No.
Microsoft owns LinkedIn, right? So I mean, they have some good development.
Have you
You
been
know,
on
pocket.
LinkedIn? Like,
Yeah, I don't know how you.
team building games.
It's
What
an
team
ass
building games
platform.
are they going to do?
I don't know.
what
Maybe who gets the
they're
highest
gonna
score?
slap
in this?
Farmville on there and try to monetize it because it's.
You know what?
it's-
They're just going to take that awesome software from that commercial in that little handheld thing, and they're going to put it on LinkedIn.
Yeah,
Because it's
that's
better
what's
than
going to happen. 100%. It's going to be the whatever PS
it's gonna be like
200.
when-
Yeah. According to Scott, actually, that
2011.
handheld is better than my entire collection altogether. I should go all the way. Buy one of those for $19.99.
Even if like they could put, I don't know what's they could put Gauntlet Legends on that motherfucker and be like, you guys have to play this at work. I still probably wouldn't want to play. Wouldn't want to be forced to play games with my coworkers.
They wouldn't do that. Like, I don't know. I just don't.
Well, apparently these are all puzzle-based games, so maybe they're trying to make you smarter. But yeah, you're supposed to be able to compete against other whatever. So I thought that was kind of weird.
It if it's like something where it's like, we're going to a leadership conference and these are leadership team building games or something like that, and they're super lame and like this is all being hyped up for nothing. And guess what? Congrats, LinkedIn. We're talking about it.
What yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
What?
I'm sorry.
All right, well, let's skip that. I thought it was just really weird that they're bringing, it's supposed to be this business networking thing and trying to find jobs. And they're like, oh, play video games instead. We already have enough of that.
Yeah, can I get hired based on like my high score? You know what I mean? Like is this like an acumen test?
If you have a low score,
like I'm telling you,
you get fired.
Yeah, or it's
gonna be like you guys ever watch 30 Rock?
Yeah,
a long time ago.
Yeah, many years ago.
The leadership conference they did in that one time. It's like they're all like, you got to stack the blocks a certain way.
Right.
Well, this just reminds me. I mean, I'm rewatching The Office with my daughter, the Superfan episodes. But when Jim moves to the other office and they all play Call of Duty, like the original Call of Duty, and he's just like staring at the wall because he doesn't know how to play and keeps blowing himself up. It just kind of reminds me of that. Like some of these people that are. Yeah. So that's all I can think of when I think of work-related video games. I mean,
if I could like apply for a job and be like, look, I'm a PhD and also I got like 350 lines in Tetris in LinkedIn.
My kill death ratio is 3%.
Yeah, I've got 12 consecutive wins.
I like in the chat, No Good Goody says it's like the last Starfighter, except for a shitty job.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's like Burger Time. They put Burger Time in McDonald's.
That might be a fun concept. Is just
you've gotten the high score of our Burger Time.
You have to get the high score to get the job. Yeah, or something like that. All right. Anyway, specs. So there was a huge mistake. I guess Sony sent out specs for the PS5 Pro Ultimate Edition, whatever it is. Now here's what's getting too big. With the ridiculousness. Spectral Super Resolution. Can anybody tell me what that is?
No, they're all just stupid. It's technobabble buzzword.
Yeah.
Well, all it reminds me of is the console wars back in the day. Like
it's very
blast
processing, like mode 7. Yeah.
Sony is blast processing us into the future.
I just like how it's progressively. They've progressively gotten bigger fins. Like,
yeah.
Well, I think it just got skinnier. I thought it was supposed to be smaller than the other one. So it just looks weird because it's skinnier.
It's an oddly designed console. It's weird.
Yeah, it looks like a tower.
Lego Toretto is giving us shit because they're saying I don't know what it is, so it's dumb.
Okay, Scott, what is it?
If you can tell me let me Google it. What's it called?
A super spectral or special super spectral super resolution.
I mean, that's a really
hold on.
It's a marketing term.
Super. You said super
spectral super resolution. So anyway, while he's looking that up, the system memory is 28% increase. That's fine. It's like the CPU is identical to PS5. But it's got a 10% increase in it's like overclocking, so it's 10% more powerful. Higher clock speed than the PS5, more GPUs.
Not
a real thing. That's weird. I can't get like a spectral supervision monitor.
Is the ScienceDirect.com article where the summary says spectral super resolution (SSR) is a super important technique to obtain hyperspectral images from only RGB images, which can effectively overcome and I can't read the rest.
do you mean you can't read the rest? What does that part mean?
So basically,
I had to click on the whole article. I don't
okay.
feel like doing it.
I mean, the cool thing is,
it still sounds kind of dumb, and it still sounds like using where everyone's doing the like. I'm sorry, it's not my place to say because it doesn't bother me. So you know what, I'm not going to go into it.
But anyway, it's got a detachable disk drive to make it as competitive as possible. So I guess what that means is they're only going to sell the base unit now, and if you want the disk drive, you have to buy it and add it on. So that's how it's competitive. Instead of having 2 models like they currently have, where it's just disk free, and then I don't know. I don't think they're going to sell that many. Huh?
Do we have price points?
I don't know if that's been leaked. That doesn't mention the price points. So you know, according to the report that was leaked, it was more just kind of specs of the PS 5 Pro. So question is, are you excited? Is it going to make any difference? From what I understand, it's not going to be able to run Grand Theft Auto, the new one, at 60 frames a second, even with the upgrade. So.
And we will talk about that in the next segment a little bit. But yeah, I think if they're missing benchmarks like that with a updated console,
that's the whole point. Like I thought the whole point was to be able to keep up with Grand Theft Auto. Like if this was running Grand Theft Auto like the way it looks in the trailer at 60 frames, maxed out, I'd be like, all right, I think I'm going to switch. But if it's only slightly better. I don't know.
I'm a solid pass because I mean, first of all, the next time I have new console money, it's going to be building a new PC
or Switch 2.
Yeah,
it's too important to this stuff, and I can just play better games then.
Yeah,
right.
Well, and the console experience is supposed to be a streamlined mini PC that's exclusive for gaming, right? And you're eliminating everything else. But I mean, when they're releasing new hardware in 2024 that's that far behind, I think it's a little weird. But I will also say that this console cycle has been so effed.
It's super weird, man.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I've been playing the same Xbox for the last 15 years. It's really just, Series X, Series S.
Honestly, I don't think they can get much better. And like the most that they're doing is to like, the graphics are better, and then it's like, I don't know, like.
So you're saying there's not a big leap in the evolution anymore. So like we used to have huge leaps going from, yeah.
Well, if you believe
I don't know. Ray tracing is pretty badass. I mean, that was but I mean, they obviously they added it with the Series X. So I mean,
did they?
I don't know.
I've been out of the new console loop for.
I've got ray tracing on my Series X.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of do. You sort of have ray tracing. If you had ray tracing, then they could release Minecraft RTX on the Series X, like they said they were going to do, and they still haven't done. So yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff, even about. I don't know. It's bizarre. There's a lot more. I do think that console makers now are realizing that this last generation's a little underpowered, or this current generation is underpowered, and that the next one
especially
has
the Switch.
Yeah, but they've always gotten away on their software, right? Sorry, Mickey.
I got a side tangent now. I want to bring it. It's another news story, by the way. It just came out.
What do you got?
Stardew Valley 1.16 just came out.
I did see that.
Computer.
I did see that.
So that's and it's a huge update. And you have to understand the development team behind that game, which is a phenomenal game. It's the gold standard, I think, for cozy farm sim,
no doubt,
survival kind of build. Like that's kind of people kind of relate to. It's just like Stardew Valley. Now, I mean, I think what was the old Nintendo game was the or Harvest Moon.
Oh, sure,
was the original kind of one, but like I gotta say, Stardew Valley perfected it, and the fact that this guy just released a major update, which adds new festivals, new interactions, new things. Like, I'm excited. I'm gonna be playing it this weekend.
Hell yeah!
But like the fact that he does it for free. Yeah, no, you should. I think like I'm really pumped about it. So I want to bring that up. That this is like a studio. It's like that. People are hyped about this game. It came out years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, it's a different landscape.
Studio.
The corporations definitely, the big gaming corporations definitely are like seem a little bit like they're floundering at the moment. Like they don't really have their finger on the pulse anymore. I mean, if they ever did.
Of layoffs?
Well, yeah, obviously, and this like weird,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure, cyclical hiring and firing, and it just, they don't
buying studios, selling studios. I mean, that was big news like last week as well.
Like all this stuff started happening once they start saying, "Hey, guess what? You can buy back stock stuff," and so then gaming companies and all that, and all the companies became more stock companies, whatever.
Anyway,
you mean shareholder forward?
I don't know. I just want to say, hey, shout out to No Good Goody who sent me a copy of Stardew Valley on Steam, but I already have it, so he's gonna get that refunded.
Well, that's really nice. Shout out to No Good Goody.
Last thing for us?
Yeah. You have your last story, Tom? Do you have another story?
Yeah. You got to hit play on that video, don't you?
Okay, yeah. It's right here. Sorry. Boom.
Oh, are we doing the video about the ass streamer?
No. This got released today.
Yeah, this got released earlier. So, the audio.
There's just not many Marvel games that I'm excited about. This one looks actually kind of cool. I need to see the gameplay a little bit better.
Right. So
it's a game.
What is it called again? It's like some Captain America and Black Panther.
Marvel in 1936.
Yeah.
1943.
In 1936. Yeah, in World War II era. So It has potential. I just don't know.
It can be Black Panther.
Well, right now they don't know if Black Panther's good or bad.
Sure.
I wonder if it's gonna be mandatory online, so they can release gradual cosmetics you can buy. Like the Avengers game.
I miss a game being released.
Start of Hydra, isn't it? Rise of Hydra or something.
Oh, I think. Oh, I don't know. Something like that. It does look cool. I mean, but this, I will say, I mean, if there's this much effort put into, the story and the visuals here,
the gameplay right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I really couldn't tell if this is gameplay or just cutscenes. So I was hoping they would show.
I'm gonna call it right now. This game will be split up between two very distinct types of gameplay: super stealthy Wakanda, Black Panther gameplay, and then go beat up groups of people as Captain America.
You might be right,
Mickey. I'm hoping it's like the God of War version of a Marvel game, just like how we like the
which is Wolverine. What we're gonna play through. I think next time we gotta play through Wolverine next time. Yeah.
Anyway, 1943. I'm hoping that I can get excited about it. I need to show more gameplay for sure. Like that's just the bottom line. If it's just gonna be.
Well, it does. It is a story trailer, so I think this is like an early teaser, right? They're just like, "Hey, look, this is the So, but I do wonder what kind of
where they're like to each other.
Say what again?
Well, I feel like there hasn't been a game that I've like started up and been like, man, the graphics are blowing my mind. I've seen trailers of probably the next console generation.
That one.
Stuff. Somebody's making a prediction. The prediction is it's probably going to suck, but I'm trying to be positive and be hopeful that there's a licensed game that's good. Well, not play the Captain America Panther game. Yeah, what are you talking about? Mickey's got a job. He's going to have tons of money here pretty soon. He's going to buy all the games.
I won't have the console. I'm not going to buy a new console.
No, it's on PC,
Captain
dude.
Captain America Panther game.
You got it on PC. You're going to build a PC, right?
Oh, yeah. I'll build a PC when I finally get money.
There you go. Done.
I think it's I don't know. I think it's funny that these film producing companies, movie companies, right? They all figured out like the formulaic movie, right? Where they at this point, they did it with like 20 Marvel movies. They figured out a way to get people to watch movies for the most part. But gaming has not figured out how to make a good licensed game still, like this many years later. But I will say this is definitely
where they buy in or they do multi-force multiplayer.
Well, this is smart because all the you know, think about like the big franchises that people really love, like Star Wars. People have always been like really wanting that Star Wars Underworld game that like will never happen. That, or you know, all these they want a unique story. They want something a little darker, maybe that's for a more adult audience.
And they get canceled.
Hey, the Jedi game was pretty fun.
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
I
have not played the new one, but I want.
I played the first one, and I have the new one. I just haven't played it yet, so it's on my list of things to do.
But yeah, you would think. I guess what my point is, it does seem like this is kind of doing the things that it seems like people want. So I'm cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, you know what I missed?
I will agree with that, Serpent Knight. The Iron Man movie. The Iron Man game that came out around the first movie was pretty sad.
I miss the versatility of these games. So back in the day when something like this would happen, it would be the story-driven mode, and then they would also have multiplayer in every single game. They don't do that anymore. It's like it's either one or the other, it seems like. So I kind of miss having some of that experience where, you know, I can beat that game and then continue on with the rest, or I can, you know, instead of just, I beat the game and, you know, now that's it.
Mm-hmm. Sure. I mean, I guess it's mostly because like development times are just longer because games are bigger and like art takes longer.
Announce.
Well, that and now they're on that weird, you know, cycle where you just have seasons of stuff that you keep buying over and over. I mean, look at Mortal Kombat.
Right.
That's what I was going to say. Hey, did they even announce a release for this, a date?
I don't think so. I think it's just TGH.
Yeah,
I don't know why
this game gets changed 30 different times in development, gets transferred to 2 different studios, and gets shut down.
Yeah, right.
Because, and I quote, single-player games aren't profitable.
Yeah,
no one wants to play them. Yeah, so like, yeah, cool trailer, guys.
We're all cynical as shit. Like all the end of that was just us being like, well,
I don't mean to be, but I've
get
seen
canceled.
too many times they've done that.
So many times at this point, like I'm, you know, overexcited for a game and it just this effing garbage when it comes out, you know.
For sure.
I mean, like there's enough like fiber in me that wouldn't believe that they would sell off or cancel it for like a tax break next year. Like
same thing with the movies. They might start doing that where these big huge AAA games are like, oh, you know what, we're going.
Yeah, they could just sell it off or can it so it just never sees the light of day. They've done that with games. So I mean, it's like, you know.
All right,
you're bumming me out. I'm gonna be positive. It's gonna be an amazing game that we're not ready for.
That's great. That's good to hear.
We're all bummed out.
I like that optimism. Yeah. All right, thank you, Tom. That was a great news segment. So now, I guess before we get to the 1994 video game draft, it's time to debut a new segment. This week's Game Heroes and Game Villains. Sorry, I stopped that theme a little early. This week's heroes. The first hero of the week. Story-focused, turn-based RPGs. Baldur's Gate has clocked in. Yeah, Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate 3 has sold a whopping 10 million copies, and it still like manages to be one of the highest played games on Steam. I just think it's amazing that a game like this with a supposed small audience has been such a hit. It's a huge accomplishment. This 10 million copies is wild. So hats off to them. Hats off to this game. Our second hero of the week, video game movies that are actually good. It feels like we're kind of entering like a renaissance of kind of good video game movies. Is this actually happening? And with the success of the Super Mario Brothers movie, it is now confirmed that the sequel is planned for release 2 years, basically 2 years from now. So April of 2026. So I've seen.
So what you're saying is they had no idea it was going to be successful, or they would have already started doing the next one when this one was in the game. So I mean, it's good and bad. I mean, I thought they were doing like a couple other spin-offs too, aren't they?
Most likely, I would imagine so. But that's there's a date for a movie. That's yeah. And our last
first one was solid.
Yeah, I think it was solid. I agree. And the last hero of this week, character creators. If you've not seen some of the wild stuff coming out of Dragon's Dogma 2 character creator, it's worth checking out. Baldur's Gate also has a really good one. I'm super excited to see some of the stuff that comes out from the Dragon's Dogma 2 character creator. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, Sonic, the Sonic spin-off movies. Yeah, the Knuckles TV show.
Dude, totally forgot about that. When does that come out?
Yeah, I don't know.
Next month? All right, I think it's next month.
And now for this week's villains.
The
first villain, Warner Brothers, again. They are once again scrubbing more content from like all platforms. Their most recent move, they are delisting all Adult Swim games, which like, why?
What does that hurt?
It blows my mind.
I remember when that story broke, like originally when they were announcing like that they're going to get removing their games, and people who still own the IP, like they own the IP of the game on there, responded to them saying, "Hey, can you just
like
transfer
sell it to us?"
Steam? Yeah, no, because they own it already. Just transfer the Steam ownership to us. Like it takes a few clicks. It's easy to transfer. Apparently,
no man, they're gonna write that stuff off.
And they all firmly reject it, and it's like, oh, that just sucks.
All right, well, let's all.
Yeah, they're gonna. That's a tax break. That's pretty lame. Yeah, that does suck.
Our second villain this week, low effort classic game remasters. With the failure of Star Wars Battlefront Collection at launch, this is just kind of like the most recent one in a string of these remasters that have been kind of a big deal that just kind of took a dump when they were released. Like the GTA one, for example. It sucks because everybody's really excited, and then they get released in a shitty state, and then everybody, publicly defecates upon them, and then people forget about it. So it's just a bummer. It blows my mind. It doesn't make sense for anybody. It doesn't make sense for the producers or anybody who's actually making money off of it. So I don't get it at all.
You know what they did? They hired a 5-man team to remaster it, thinking that they paid them probably nothing, and that's what came out. They're thinking hopefully it'll get lucky, but like I said, the best remaster this year or last year so far, I think, was Quake 2.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah,
I think that was the best remaster last year. Is my vote.
Well, we booed them. I wasn't booing you. I was booing the
Warner Brothers
or the Battlefront launch. And our third villain of this week: unoptimized games or underpowered consoles. Dragon's Dogma 2. It has just been said that game is going to run at 30 FPS on current consoles, and it's not capped at 30 FPS like Starfield was. It just runs at 30 FPS kind of natively. That is a huge failure, I think. I personally, I don't know if it's the optimization of the game or if it's the console, but regardless, I can't imagine that 30 FPS is an acceptable frame rate in 2024, and
everybody keeps releasing them that way.
I know.
I'm like, at what point do you say you have to do minimum of X, Y, or Z?
Well, I think you got to vote with your dollar, right? But yeah, I defended Starfield being like, oh, it's not that bad, and then playing it, I realized, you know what, that it's just really in practice, it's not what I expect out of a $500 console. You know what I mean? So, kind of a bummer, and it sucks that Dragon's Dogma is going to have the same shitty performance. So anyway, that is it for this week's Heroes and Villains. Without further ado, I think it's time for the draft. Are you guys ready?
Y'all ready for this?
All right, I don't have that queued up, but
oh man,
yeah, no, we need to like Jock Jams queued up for this kind of stuff.
1994, I was saying, has to be one of the best years for video games.
No doubt.
Like it's one of the
lot of good games.
It's so many good games, like new IPs, sequels. Like it just goes on, and no wonder I didn't get anything done when I was 13. Like that's all I was doing was like a new game release every 3 days.
How we decide in order here? boys.
Well, we'll figure that out in a second. Welcome to the 1994 Video Game Draft. That's right. The year is 1994, and the three of us are going to choose from a pool of games released this year in 1994 and build a team, a best of the best, a perfect list of the most iconic, influential, and enjoyable games of the year. After we've chosen our teams, our viewers will vote and decide whose team is best and crown a winner. 1994 was a monster year, as we've discussed, so I'm sure our teams will be pretty stacked. Each player will have 7 spots to fill. They are as follows: 1 action/platformer game, 1 sports game, including racing and, sports-ish, 1 RPG-ish game, 1 blockbuster game, 1 PC-only game, 1 under-the-radar game, and a wild card, which is anything. Just choose one and stick it in there. This will be done in snake draft format. We're going to have to figure out who goes first. So it's up to, what do you guys want to do?
I'm thinking we should go in order of last time's victory.
Oh, that's actually a great idea. I think it's a great plan.
So first, second, and third is super easy. So it's, what is it, me, Jared, and then Mickey?
No, I think it's Tom, Mickey, Jared. So I think I ordered it.
Really? Jared got last?
I think I got last.
Okay.
Yeah, get your bets in.
Well, you just want that snake so you can get that double thing at the.
Hey, I'm not making any decisions here.
Hold on. I made a quick little wheel. Who goes first?
Well, what do you?
We can do that.
All right, do it.
It's obviously not spinning.
Whatever. Okay, so you're first, Tom.
No, it's spinning now.
What are we going with? Oh,
Jared.
All right, it's me. It's me first.
All right.
And then we'll go who goes second. Here we go. We're great with the graphics here on the Game Heroes.
Look at this.
Jared goes second. God damn it. Whatever.
Right.
Let's just go over the one we just chose
tells
before.
Me it's rigged. I think Mickey rigged it.
Tom, me, Jared. There we go.
Okay.
Perfect.
Right.
Going last actually is the best because then you get to go twice, and then so that's actually.
All right. So I forget how this works. Do I pick any category or do we start at action?
Nope. You can
pick whatever you want.
Yeah, fill any category. You just have to have all 7 filled at the end of the game.
We're picking off the same list.
Picking off the same list here. So
we got the same list. So no more cheating from some people. Dude, this is so hard. This was an amazing effing year.
Start the timer.
I'll start with action, and I'm gonna go with Super Metroid, so Mickey can't steal it from me this time.
Yeah, smart, a smart pick.
I'm going with Earthbound RPG.
Holy shit! You guys are filling them up. Okay. Well, shit. I don't know if I'm that ready. I think I need a second. You guys chose so quickly.
You can pick 2.
I can pick 2. This is tough because
many good ones.
Yeah, but I don't get to pick for like 4 picks after this, so I've got to make them count.
Don't you get like 2 picks now?
I do get 2 picks.
Yeah, he's got 2.
But I don't get to pick. So I have to make sure these count. They've got to be a good 2 that other people are gonna take.
If you don't pick.
Shut up, Mickey. Shut up.
I got a good one. I got a good one queued up if you don't take it.
Okay.
And you'll know if you take it because I'll yell about it.
I will take. So I'm gonna choose here, and I will for my first pick of the 1994 Video Game Draft. Classic Man Jared chooses Final Fantasy VI. Boom. Suck it.
For your RPG?
Yes, from an RPG. An all-time classic. Like, an all-time... Yeah.
Something.
Nobu Uematsu? Dude. Yeah, it's incredible. The best use of Mode 7 graphics I've ever seen. An incredible intro, an incredible game. Yeah, an all-time, like, all I'm going to say is that people will put this on like a top 10 list of games, period. So just keep that in mind. And for my other pick, I'm going with, for my action game. In your opinion, the best Final Fantasy. You know what? I agree, and Simon, I beg you to keep this in mind when you're voting for me. And when the voting time comes, keep this in mind. I am going with, for my action game, I'm going with Donkey Kong Country. And I know what?
God damn it.
You might.
that was gonna be my next pick.
But I had to do Super Metroid with my Super Metroid shelf.
Smart. Listen, DK Country, not, it has its detractors, certainly, but
no, it's such a good game.
It's incredible, man.
Right, I get mine then.
It holds up really, really well. And I have not conceded my time yet, Mickey, so let me.
No, I know. I'm just saying, I get mine.
I know. I'm just
go ahead.
But yeah, no, it's an amazing game. Holds up really well, and it was.
What was your favorite part about Final Fantasy VI?
About Final Fantasy VI?
Yes.
Well, I love the genre.
Okay.
But no, the story was, at the time, like.
You know what? I think we're gonna be friends.
Are we getting rated? Oh, yeah, Big Ben. Thank you, Big Ben.
The Big Ben
for the raid.
Across the
Across the Jus. I believe I said it. The Genesis was getting old in '94, no doubt. Thank you all so much for the raid. Good evening. I'm the Big Ben. I love reading that sentence. Thanks so much for hanging out. Anyway, I'm sorry, Mickey. I won't
catch everybody up what we're doing here. So
we are playing. Yeah, so Raiders, we are doing the 1994 video game draft, where we are choosing a team of video games that were released in 1994. And once we're finished, we will our viewers will vote to see who was best. So Tom went first, then Mickey, and then me, and it's a snake draft. So it's going to go now. It is going to be Mickey's turn. We've already got some bangers out here. 94 was a hell of a year. So
ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's too hard to choose.
All right. Is it my turn?
It's your turn. Yep. Go lay it on me, Mickey.
Sonic and Knuckles.
Smart.
Action platformer.
Smart. A huge pick.
Yeah, no. It's I mean, would that qualify as Sonic 3 and Knuckles 2?
Yeah.
Well, it's actually Sonic 1, 2, and 3 because you can use it for all three cards.
Sonic and Knuckles was released that time with the adapter, so.
Those were my top 3 picks for action platformer.
Sonic and Knuckles was my second choice, but yeah, it was Super Metroid, then DK, then Sonic and Knuckles for me.
Well, yeah, it's definitely the definitive Sonic game of the era. No doubt, right? As someone who's just not a Sonic fan, and that's the best one, right? On the Genesis, the definitive game. So good choice. Yeah. Tom, you're up, man.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna do a sports game. I was thinking about doing a racing game. I'm not gonna say which 2 racing games are really high on my list. I can see Jared smirking over there because he's got one. He's got one lined up. I know which game, but I'm gonna have to take NBA Jam.
Okay,
I knew it.
Yeah, I had to take NBA Jam. I almost did racing, and I was like, you know what? I've got the arcade machine sitting right next to me. I can't not take NBA Jam.
It's TE too, right?
Yes, it is Tournament Edition.
Yeah, I think yes. I think the sports games that released this year were more 95. So like NBA Live 95, NHL 95 came out in 94. So dude, a hell of a choice, man. NBA Jam TE. You can play as the Beastie Boys.
You can't go wrong.
And Bill Clinton.
Yeah. And Warren Moon, and there's a whole list of players that were just I played the crap out of that all day.
No doubt.
All right.
All the mascots. Okay,
right, I got one more, Mickey. I've got one more.
Oh,
yeah, go one more. Go ahead.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, go for it.
God.
I'm not. Oh, whatever.
My problem. I'm having a problem between a couple of them here. So here's the thing: is I don't think you guys are going to choose any of the rest of my picks.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with the PC only game, and I'm going to go with Doom 2.
Nice.
Okay. Cool.
So nice. Doom 2, my mind was completely blown. I've told the story a million times, but I got home from school. My dad's like, "Hey, come check this out." He downloaded the Doom 2 demo, and he had back in the day for what we had, he had these badass speakers with a subwoofer. So when he shot that shotgun and it rattled the whole room, I was like, "This is the greatest thing I've ever seen." So he played through it a little bit, and then I had to go do homework. But that was for that year. That was the game. I played Doom 2 all day.
Nice.
Nice. Good choice. That's a great choice.
That's one of the excellent choice. Mickey?
I'm gonna follow in suit and pick a PC only game, and I'm torn, and I'm gonna say the two choices I was torn between. I was torn between Warcraft and System Shock. I'm gonna go with System Shock because System Shock really kind of set up for.
That's a shocking one. I'm surprised you chose that one, man. The remake came out last year. I haven't bought it yet, but it's on my list. The remaster.
So System Shock.
Like I said, I'm picking it purely because I know it's a good game. I know it's a genre, whatever. It's
yes, no good goodie. All of these are in 94, and there's even more. Like we could go and make a list that would take pages. Like it's absolutely insane what came out in 1994.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good stuff. So much so that I'm gonna need a sec.
I said, we're all picking from the same.
You got two. What do you got for us? Don't steal my. I've got two games that you might steal. Don't steal them.
So Mickey came in with so I'm going to see, this is where you get into the like, do I pick this now or do I hold off till later?
Yeah, I just gave you Warcraft, so
yeah, no. I know I'm not choosing Warcraft, so unless it's available late, I'm not picking Warcraft. Not for any. It's more of a personal preference thing, and I know I'm running up against my time here, so I'm gonna choose for my PC game. We're going with TIE Fighter. This game changed my fucking life. Truly, X-Wing first, and then when TIE Fighter came out, like. Truly, these games are the reason that I still play with inverted controls on like a controller, just because I learned a joystick, so like a PC joystick, so early because I was obsessed with X-Wing, and then TIE Fighter was even better. So, an incredible game. I'm super happy to have that on my team, and I'm gonna go with.
That was on my list, man. I had. Well, has he done a PC only? Okay, so I had Star Wars TIE Fighter.
Mm-hmm.
I had Raptor Call of the Shadows, but I didn't think anybody would really know that game. But it had an amazing soundtrack with great. It was almost like not Sevious, but it was an over-the-top shooter that anyway PC only.
Gotcha.
And then Heretic. I mean, Heretic at the time wasn't on consoles; it was PC only, so that was super high on my list.
Damn. My next game is a tough one. I'm not gonna lie. I've got some stuff in the wings. What do I want to choose here? Do I want to go Blockbuster or?
I want to see your Blockbuster.
You want to see my
What's
Blockbuster?
your Blockbuster?
Let me just let me confirm. Because I saw this on a list, and I want to make sure I'm not.
Chip 'n Dale's Rescue Rangers 2?
Yeah, yeah, that's what it was. Okay, no, I've got it. We are going with Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
God, that was on my list.
It's too easy. That one's too easy. I had to choose it. It's the definitive Street Fighter 2. I mean, it's the ultimate Street Fighter 2. It didn't get any better than that, and there are a lot of people out there, including myself, who I just don't really have as much fun with a Street Fighter game. I mean, Street Fighter 2 to me is really, really the wheelhouse. And I know a lot of, like Tom is a 3 fan. Lots of people are 3 fans. But to me, it really began and ended. You know what I mean? Began and ended with Street Fighter 2. And that's my choice. Mickey, you're on the clock. Whenever you're ready.
I'm not sure if this qualifies as a blockbuster game, but okay, what would qualify as a blockbuster game? Like just a popular game?
Yeah, big ass game. I mean,
Earthworm Jim.
Yeah, for sure. I think that counts.
Earthworm Jim. Earthworm Jim is my blockbuster then. I just have fond memories of that game. It's going to be on my list somewhere.
Absolutely. I think that totally counts. It was an enormous game.
It's a kick-ass game. I was sitting there looking it up, seeing what would it qualify at. That's a blockbuster. There, Kurt Minutes. What would it be under the radar? If you think it'd be under the radar,
it had its own cartoon show. Like, it's big enough to have its own cartoon show. Come on. Like, it was on Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah, no, like, I mean, I get it. It was a game that was made because they wanted their own franchise kind of thing, but it blew up, so.
It had sold,
Man,
it sold 1 million copies in 1990.
Simon Agriff, right. Earthworm Jim is just so perfect. There's a level you go to hell and fight Lloyd.
Yeah, and the music in that, it was the, what's the name of that? Anyway, that classical music song, can't remember. Yep, amazing stuff. Good choice, Mickey.
All right, so I'll do Blockbuster 2, so we can talk about the rest of them on the list. So
Okay.
Blockbuster, you guys took a couple of them. Killer Instinct.
Yeah.
Big.
Killer Instinct was massive. I mean, there was lines in the arcade.
Handsome Tom vibes. I will say that.
But for other
No
Blockbuster games, I've got Aladdin, and I had Cruisin' USA. That was Cruisin' USA was everywhere.
Killer Instinct though had it was so big that it had copycats. Primal Rage came out right after. Everybody's trying to be Killer Instinct.
Yeah, Killer Instinct was huge, and that's why I have it behind me.
Nice.
Yeah, I figured you're gonna pick that game at some point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I got one more, don't I?
Yep, you do.
You're not gonna get my under the radar or wild card. So for my RPG, I'm gonna do Final Fantasy: Dawn of Souls.
Okay. What is
so
this?
Final Fantasy 1 and 2.
Yes, no,
so
good.
Collection.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. So that released that year, which was kind of cool. It was pretty big at the time.
There was, I think Tactics also came out that year. The first Tactics game, but I might be wrong.
Okay.
I also thought King's Quest possibly, or
King's Quest was one that I looked at for sure.
But see, I didn't play. That's one King's Quest I don't remember playing is the Princess Bride, so that's why I couldn't choose it.
Sure.
I mean, I could, but I played a bunch of the King's Quest. I don't think I played that one.
But it was like King's Quest 7, was it not, or something like that?
5, yeah, King's Quest 7.
Something like that.
They were starting to burn out a little bit by then.
No doubt. Mickey, are you ready?
All right. I'm going to go ahead and pick my sports game.
Okay. Let's hear it.
And I'm torn again because I'm Tom said it already when he was torn between his Blockbuster. Cruisin' USA would be a great pick for it, but
It would be.
for me personally, I'm going to go with Road Rash.
Hold on.
Yeah, no, Dawn of Souls. I don't know why it was on the IMDb list.
Should I change it?
Yeah, hold on. We need to back up.
Sorry, I just went off the list title, but
Shame.
so I can
We're
go and
shaming
pick.
Tom real quick. No, hold on, Mickey. You're good. Tom has to repick his.
It's a remake of the '91 Road Rash.
Yeah, go ahead and pick yours. That's weird. I don't know why it's on this list.
You know what? I'm gonna just go and change that back to Cruisin' USA. Stick with that. Why
Okay.
not?
Cruisin'. Is it like this?
It's weird.
Is that how they spell it? Cruisin'.
It's CRU. Yeah, that's it. That's exactly how you spell it.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
looking at the Cruisin'. Yeah, I think
Cruisin'.
that's it. Yeah, Cruisin' USA.
All right, we got to go back.
game was-
Shamed Tom.
That game was in every
I did.
arcade.
It was on the list. I don't know how. I was like, oh, okay, cool. It's 1 and 2. But now that you say that, I think that released on the DS, or not even the DS, just the 2DS. Let's see.
Cruisin' USA is while you're thinking about this, Tom. My wife always does an impression of Cruisin' USA from one of the flag girls when you go to San Francisco. She goes, San Francisco.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's what my wife's always making that joke. Cruisin' was great, man. Like playing Cruisin' USA on 64 with like Shadows of the Empire. Oh, dude, talk about a really.
Breath of Fire 2.
What was it?
Breath of Fire 2.
Breath of Fire 2 by Capcom.
2.
There's not many, RPGs weren't huge in 94. Everything else was.
That's why the RPG category exists, because it's kind of pigeonholes you into choosing one. That's why I always choose RPG early. Okay, so
yeah, I kind of jumped under fast.
All right, so that is Breath of Fire for Tom. Well done. He is nearing his final pick. I am. Wait, so it's me now. Wait, hold on. Did we skip? Did I?
You've got 2 right now.
You guys have been taking 2, and I get 1 each turn, so I think it's weirdly numbered. So like I'm about to go, because you're gonna go, I'm gonna go, Tom's gonna go last. I'll go, then you go.
Yeah, no, that is correct. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So I need a sports game, weird. And I need a. So there were a bunch of sports games that I really like. I decided to go with one of my favorite sports games ever. There were a lot that I like. I really liked FIFA. Like that was like one of the first FIFA games was like 95, and I liked NBA Live 95 a whole lot at the time. But I'm gonna go with boom, eat shit, Windjammers.
Windjammers?
Yes.
Wow.
Windjammers.
So recently I had a real life Windjammers experience where I sprained my ankle really bad trying to catch a frisbee. So, but dude, Windjammers is an arcade, just an arcade gem. It's so much fun to play head to head at the arcade on an actual Neo Geo, and they've remade it a bunch of times recently. There's a Windjammers 2. It's great. I absolutely love it, and I have to pick an under the radar and a wild card. So my under the radar, I think I'm gonna go ahead and choose my under the radar, and then I'm gonna feel all loosey goosey for my wild card. And I can think about it for a while. So I'm going to go with the poor man's Earthworm Jim for my under the radar.
Hotel Mario?
Boogerman.
Boogerman.
Boogerman on the Super Nintendo. It was maybe not the best game ever, but it was a new character.
Stuck out in Real Boys.
It did.
That game. I remember that.
And
Jared, go ahead and pick your wild card, man.
No. I want some time.
Okay, all right.
So
Mickey, what do you got?
Yeah, Mickey. Yeah, Boogerman though, great game.
Super weird pick, but you got it.
God, I'm bad with under the radar stuff because, like I said, I was like 7 years old when these games were coming out. I will go. I'm gonna pick this based off of this comment, and you tell me if this would qualify as an underdog or under the radar. I mean, as the last official game to be released on the NES in '94, Wario's Woods.
Wario's Woods?
Would that classify as under the radar since they were already pushing their new console and new stuff then?
Maybe we let it slide. It wasn't that huge. Okay. Was it huge?
Sure. No, it was definitely not huge.
But still a great game.
Certainly not huge. I mean, it's a first-party game. The only reason I would think no would be that it's a Nintendo first-party game, but it was a new character.
That's what I was thinking. But I was thinking about like it's literally the last NES game.
Yeah. No, I like that. I think that's a good choice. It was under the radar at the time. No one was paying attention to NES.
Oh no, that's not right. I was trying to see how many they sold.
I've got to make my last game really good.
I got my last game just because I have to pick it because it's a good one unless Tom takes it. So
maybe I should. All right, so it's my turn.
Yeah.
So I'm torn. There's so many good choices. I think the wild card, Revolution X.
That's your wild card? Was it the arcade or the Super Nintendo version or the console?
I just want to go with it.
I'm just do it. We're gonna go with it.
Hell
Wild cards. It was the arcade version. Revolution X. I played at CC's Pizza all the time. That was the game I went to and played. Aerosmith.
He was a huge Aerosmith fan. He was always singing "Love in an Elevator." Every time I see him, he's just like, "Hey, what's up, Jared? Love in an elevator."
Under the radar, Siberia. So Siberia is starts with a CYBERI. There you go.
Nice.
So this was a PC, CD-ROM game back in the day, and they did port it a few times, but man, like the graphics were amazing, the concept was cool. I mean, the gameplay, had several different aspects to it at the time, which was kind of, experimental. But go look up that game, watch some gameplay. I want to play it soon.
Okay.
Siberia is under the radar. I mean, you gotta say
that's great.
These two
Absolutely.
Nice.
Yeah, you want to talk under the radar.
You're under it.
It's a very Tom choice. All right. My last pick in wild card. I'm going with it's not my favorite of the series, but it did launch it. Warcraft.
Oh, of course. It's really good. It's a good choice.
Yeah. that was torn. Yeah, like it's just Warcraft. Such a good game.
I mean,
it's not the best out of the series. Like, it's not the most memorable, but it did launch it. Yeah. So,
I'm the last pick. There's like a billion really great games that have not been picked.
I know.
94 is crazy, man. That's
you
like
have
the
a good last pick, yeah.
Damn. I think what I will end up going with. I thought really hard about Wild Guns. I thought. All right, hold on. I don't want to hold it up here. But let me just make sure. Let me.
I have a good one for you if you want to take it.
Well, why don't you lay it on me? I will accept a suggestion.
Castlevania Bloodlines.
That was it was gonna be Bloodlines or potentially
Cowboys of Moon Mesa wasn't 94.
I thought about Super Return of the Jedi, but I think I will do Castlevania.
But that's not under the radar, man. That was a huge game.
I'm not under the radar. I'm on my wild card, baby.
That was the wild card. Okay.
Yeah. So I can do
Bloodlines is pretty good.
Yeah. So Bloodlines.
Cowboys of Moon Mesa is such a good arcade game.
Cowboys of Moon Mesa is just as good of an arcade game as Sunset Riders, and that's about the best you can say.
It's the same game.
Castlevania Bloodlines is a game that I played very recently because I never had a Genesis, and it was just kind of one of those games that wasn't as ubiquitous as most of its competitors. So the game is really, really great. I enjoy it. I think Bloodlines was like the first of the new era. Like, you could see them kind of veering off towards the Symphony of the Night era of Castlevania games. So
less action based, more items and leveling.
Sure, a little more thoughtful, a little more just kind of slower and Anyway, great, awesome. What a list. Okay, who's got the best here? Because I think currently I'm the front runner. Not gonna lie.
And it's mixed up for me. Like, I think there are top games in all of them, but I think I picked the best ones because Earthbound, Earthworm Jim, Sonic and Knuckles,
really good ones. It's tight. There's
Warcraft.
There are so many good games that this is going to be an interesting one. I don't know that there is a clear winner here. Eric clearly says it's me.
Well, he always goes you. He's a Jarrett fanboy.
Yeah, well, most people who watch us are. So,
I think Versus Predator Arcade was fun. We actually had it in the garage at one point in time.
Yeah, that's pretty fun.
Well, I mean, look at my list here. Super Metroid, everybody's played it. NBA Jam, Tournament Edition. Come on. Breath of Fire 2, maybe.
You sound
Killer
like
Instinct.
Come on.
Doom.
No.
You can't beat
Tom's list is a good list. Like, it's very.
It's good.
I don't know. It just screams Tom. Like, those are all games I know you and you love to play. So, like,
I think a lot of people in 2024 are really thinking about how they loved Aerosmith themed rail shooters. So I bet there's a ton of people who are just like, yes, Revolution X.
Hey, come on, man! It's near and dear to my heart. Just because I played the balls out of it at CC's Pizza, like, just.
I mean, you jumped on Super Metroid fast too.
Because you told Metroid for me last time the Japan release. I was like, come on.
I'm surprised you didn't go with Donkey Kong Country though.
Donkey Kong was up there, but I love Metroid more.
Okay,
that's just
the
top, personal opinion.
The Tom list is very, very, very him with Metroid, NBA Jam, Killer Instinct, Doom. Like that's some of the quintessential Tom franchises. So,
right.
Mickey, I think you're really solid too. You got Sonic and Knuckles and Earthbound, which is wild, and System Shock, and Warcraft. Holy shit. So yeah. Anyway,
I got some good computer games on there.
No doubt. Well,
yeah, Donkey Kong Country should have been your blockbuster, man.
I liked yours. Yeah, I mean, you have a really good.
Street Fighter 2,
you switch them up.
And Killer Instinct. Yeah.
I would say your under the radar pick is probably one of the best under the radars I've seen in a while. With it just that hit me with a lot of nostalgia with Boogerman. I don't know why.
I read Boogerman a bunch of times, dude.
That was the thing that existed.
That was definitely a rental game. You don't buy that one. You rent that.
Yeah, no, I know. I definitely rented that game.
You can vote on YouTube. So Mickey will put that poll up. This will be launched on YouTube in a few days, and then Mickey will have the poll up for the
when we post this podcast episode, the poll will be live that day. So
perfect.
You can also, if you want to argue our picks, you can do it in our Discord channel. So it's under a podcast,
But do vote.
Do in the comments.
The winner will be taken right from the YouTube poll. So even if you put it in the comments, make sure you vote in the poll. And yeah, but please leave a comment and let us know whose was the best. Yeah, is that it for you guys?
Save your discussion for the comments, to be honest. Yeah, that'd be good.
94 was a crazy year.
94 was a good year.
Yeah, I figured we needed to. The 87 one was a little sparse, right? So I think we needed to.
Didn't the Sega Saturn come out that year too?
What's that?
94?
I think the Sega Saturn came out that year too.
That doesn't mean we were good at games.
PS1 came out that year.
No, 95 was the Saturn.
Well, I thought about at one point putting like a console 95. Or something on here.
And in 94.
Hey, listen, if anyone has any suggestions for how to...
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what? Oh, I was just saying, if anyone has any suggestions how to improve these, let me know. Always looking for fun, new stuff and ideas. But yeah, I guess that's it. Right, you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
Oh, you gotta pick a raid person.
Yeah, well, think about that, Mickey. But that just about does it for us at the Game Heroes Podcast Live this week. Before we get out of here and raid some poor unsuspecting soul, we've got, what do we have coming up streaming this week?
Tomorrow is off. Friday, Jared, you and I are streaming some Double Dragon and some other stuff. Friday.
Daytime.
Saturday is Princess Peach.
Yes.
Daytime. As long as it comes in on time.
Right.
And then X-Men next Tuesday.
I also have Saturday is going to be game show games. Old school game show games on Saturday. And I still need to do a bonus stream at some point, and then we'll see about next week from there. But thanks everybody for sticking around. That's it for us. Once again, if you're on YouTube, please drop us a like. It helps like a huge amount. Be sure to stop by our Twitch stream, which Dude,
you got to dress up like Mark Summers, man.
Man, how do you dress up like Mark Summers? I have a tuxedo T-shirt on the way right now, and
that's all you need. You're good.
And I also have a muscle shirt for a potential wrestling stream. So yeah, tuxedo T-shirt. And I wanted to get like a skinny mic, but I don't know. That's apparently not as easy as I thought. So I'm looking for something. If you want us to answer your questions on the podcast, please leave them in the YouTube comments or on Discord. Big thanks to Lego Todito for all that you do, everyone in chat, and to all of our Discord members. For those of you who are in the chat now, we're going to hang out for a bit and choose who to raid, so stick around for that. But for all you YouTube watchers, thanks so much for watching. We love you, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.